You're listening to the Thoughts of a Blog Queen podcast.
These are just my thoughts.
With your host, LaRae Renee.
A woman, her thoughts, and a mic.
Are you ready? Check this out.
All right, you guys. Welcome back to part 5 of What a Woman Wants. This is it, you guys. This is the wrap up. This is the last episode to this series, and I am moving on. So if you had not listened to the other 4 episodes, if you are just tuned into this episode, then you might want to run it back and go catch up with me. There are 4 other episodes to this series. I'm talking about all of the things that a woman wants in a healthy relationship, in a good relationship, all the shit that we need, all the shit that we desire. And in part 4, we just knocked out P through T. And if you are just tuned in for the first time of this series, then you may not understand when I say P through T, but what I did was I did my own thing and I did the alphabets. I ran through everything we need, but I did it alphabet style. And so we're going to wrap up the rest of this episode, this series, going through U through Z, and then that is it. And make sure you guys stay tuned until the end of this episode, because I have a few things that I want to talk about, including the very first listener's lotto that has to do with this series. So with that being said, let's get into it. Where are we? So understanding. We want understanding in a relationship. There's a whole song for that, right? Who did that song? Escape. Where my 90s fans at? We want understanding. And oh my God, how broad can that be? There's a lot of things that we need understanding on. We need you to be understanding. Though you don't know what it's like to be a woman, because you are not, if you're a man listening to this, we need you to have some sort of understanding for that. We need you to have some understanding of everything that we have to go through just being a woman. We have to deal with a lot, and there's a lot on our plates. Just like we have to be understanding of who you are as a man. Because we could never be men, but there needs to be an understanding within our relationship. And that's just on an individual level. But as a couple, we need to have an understanding of how things are going to go. We need to have an understanding of what our boundaries are. We need to have an understanding of where we're going. We need to have an understanding of what our future is going to look like. Right? Because neither one of us wants to waste time. I definitely know I don't want to waste time. And so I need to know, now it is not a bad thing to talk about those things early on, especially if you know what you want and if you know you're looking for something serious. Again, I mentioned back a couple of parts back, I don't know, maybe from the very beginning, I said, maybe I think that a lot of women are going to agree with everything that I'm talking about, but then there may have been some things where women are just like, I don't need that, but when it comes to a serious relationship, because maybe not everybody is at that place. Maybe every woman listening to this is not at a place where she is looking for a serious relationship. But I'm not talking to you, sis. I'm talking to the women that are looking for a serious relationship, the women that are dating with a purpose. That is what this series is all about. And so I wanted to run through and talk about all of the things that we need and that we want. And so understanding is definitely one of those things that, listen, we have to have that understanding. I need to know where you see yourself. I need you to know where I see myself. I need to understand what your expectations are, and vice versa. And that's just that. Like we have to have that understanding, because if we don't, and we're in it for 2 different things or 2 different reasons, we are going to waste a lot of unnecessary time, and in the end, someone is going to get hurt, and someone is going to be very pissed off. So I definitely want to have understanding. All right, so moving along to the. All right, so I got 2. I have one and I have a bonus one for you guys. So we want to be valued. We want to be valued. I need y'all to know that you got a whole ass queen. Fellas, I'm talking to the fellas right now. I need you to know, and ladies listening, I need you to know that you are a whole ass queen, and that what you should expect in your relationships is to be valued. Meaning to not be taken for granted, to not just allow certain things to just fly in your relationships, to be able to be vocal. Oh, that should have been another one. Oh, it is. That is my little bonus one. I'll get to that in a second. But we need to be valued in just everything. Like, know what you have. And realize, ladies, realize who you are. Recognize that what you deserve. And don't accept anything less than that. You deserve a lot. You are responsible for showing people how they need to treat you. You set the standard. We talked about standards in the last episode, right? That was one of our S words, standards. And so you have to set a standard, and you have to show people how to treat you, and you set that tone from the beginning. So yes, we want to be valued. Stop thinking that you can just get over and get by and nothing's going to happen. There are going to be no consequences to deal with. There's not going to be anything that, like, understand. Please understand that. And so the bonus one, which I said it, vocal. We want you to be vocal, but we want to be vocal. And I mean that, and I think I've kind of expressed that and touched on that in different ways previously, but we want to be able to express whatever it is that we need to be whatever it is we need to talk about. Let me put that shit on the table. And I'm going to be vocal about any and everything that is bothering me, but also remember to be vocal about not just the good things, not just the bad things, but the good things too. And this is something that I had to actually hear in my own relationship before, and I had to get checked on this, and I'm just going to have a moment of transparency here. A lot of times we will get into the habit of talking about all of the things that the person is not doing, and we won't spend just as much time talking about the things that they are doing or the good things. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's kind of like a fine line between that, because I really feel like that if there are areas that you are strongly lacking in, I need to be vocal in that, and I need you to understand where you are going wrong and where we have an issue. And so it's hard for me, I know it's hard for me to offer that praise when I know there's this problem in this specific area. But that is something that we have to recognize. And because, men have feelings too. And, they don't always just want to hear the bad. They want to hear about the good too. And so I'm also saying that we need that as well. We need that from you. We need you to be vocal. We need you to express your feelings. We need you to talk things out. We need you to tell me the things that, not only the things that are bothering you, but tell me the good things that you're getting from me, the good things that you recognize within me. Again, like I said, my primary love language is words of affirmation. So for me personally, I need that. I need you to be vocal, and I need to be vocal. That's how I give and receive love. And so I'm sure that a lot of women can agree with that we need you to be vocal about your feelings. We need you to be vocal about just everything. That's what you're supposed to do, right? That you should feel good. You should feel comfortable enough to be able to talk about any and everything, right? Your person, your partner, your lover, your husband, your boyfriend, your fiance, whatever, all of those things, that's there should be no limitations to what you can talk about and what you can share. And I think once you reach that comfort level with the person, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And that's one of the things that I have always looked for. Just even in previous relationships, just like I've always looked for this element of comfort. And if I felt like I could talk to that person just about anything, that was a plus for me. I needed that. So yeah, we vocal. We want you to be vocal, and we want to be able to be vocal. Allow me to be vocal, and don't get so frustrated every time I want to talk. A lot of times, some men, not all. I'm saying some. I'm gonna make sure I'm clear about that. Some men don't like to get into all the emotional talks, and they're like, "Oh, here we go." They'll do it and they'll listen to it because they know they have to, but it's just not them. But I want to be clear that is something that we do want. We want you to be able to feel comfortable enough and feel good about doing that with us. If not anyone else, with us. All right. So moving along to W, I got 2 for this one as well. And, so for this one, wisdom, we want wisdom in the relationship. And I think this was something that I kind of talked about maybe in another one. I can't think of exactly what letter it was. But when I say we want wisdom in our relationship, I just say I want you to have experience in certain things in life. I want you to be able to teach me things. I want you to be able to show me things. I want you to be able to open up parts of me that I didn't even know existed. Because that's always exciting, right? That's always a good feeling to be able to just, experience something new. And what I think is so sexy is I think that it's like to be able to sit back and listen to my man talk about something that I didn't know shit about, or to hear him speak on something with such passion about, and tell me something that I didn't know, or even something about him, something from his childhood or something from his past, or just a story and something that he learned from it. It doesn't necessarily have to be like book wisdom or anything like that. But when you have gone through experiences in life and you have grown from it, you gain wisdom. That's just as people, not even talking about relationships, but just as people. Experience teaches us things, and experiences, whether they are bad or good, allow us to go through things and then grow through things. And then after we have grown through them, we have gained knowledge, because then we learn, like the mistakes that we make, right? Like we learn from those mistakes. We learn from past relationships, even though some of the relationships we're like, what the hell was I thinking? We learned something in that relationship, and we take from it what we needed to take from it. We realized, at the time, we're like, oh my God, I can't believe it ended, and we're so upset, and we're crying, we're hurt, and all this. But then when we move on to where we need to be, or to something better, we were like, what the hell was I even thinking? But then you have to really take a moment to reflect and think back on those past experiences and relationships, and realize what it was you were supposed to learn or take from that situation and that person. And I think that when a man can do that, even if it's not about a relationship, but just anything that he had gone through in life, and he can come to us and he can say, in my life, I have gone through this, and this is how I came out of it. Or, this is the experience that I had to go through as a child. And so as a father, I'm doing this, or I've taught my child this, or what I mean? Just, there's wisdom on different levels. And I think that when you can start sharing that in your own relationship, and you can sit back and listen to that, oh man, that's a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful feeling. So that's what I mean by wisdom. And the bonus that I had for this is that we want to feel whole. And let me be very, very clear about this. Some people say, like, you're the other half, I wasn't complete until I met you. And I think that that's not something that we should actually live by. And that's not something that we should affirm to our partners. I feel like we have to be complete, and we have to be whole by ourselves. And then we can bring that into the relationship. And I need you to be whole as well before you decide that you want to be in a relationship with me. I need you to be complete, because I don't need a piece of a man. I don't need to try to raise a man. I don't need to try to train a man. I need you to be complete, and I need you to be whole in who you are as a man before you decide that you want to be with me on a serious level. When you're talking about you want to marry me and you talk about you see a future with me, that's all beautiful and that's great, but are you whole on your own? Because I need you to be whole, because for me, I'm whole. And that's not to say that you know everything or that you don't still have things to learn, but it's just that who you are as a person, you are happy with who you are by yourself. You are clear on what your purpose is. You are clear on who you want to be. You are clear on where you would like to see yourself. You are clear on the things that you want and need out of life. And that is how you are whole. And so I need for that to be both of us. I don't need to be half and then try to come and find my other half in you and looking for you to fill me up in places that you can't fill me up in, because it's not for you to do that. And that's the same thing that applies for you. I don't come to me 63% of the way and then look for, no, I need you to be full and I need you to be whole, and then let's come together and let's just have this beautiful relationship. So I hope you guys can understand what I mean by we want to be whole and we want the man to be whole. All right. So moving right along into X, I'm going to keep it 100. I couldn't think of nothing for X. I couldn't think of nothing. I could not think of a damn thing to tell y'all that we wanted a relationship that started with an X. I don't know. Excitement. God damn it. I don't know. Don't judge me on that. I couldn't think of nothing. So sorry. We'll X to C. And I know that neither one of those, y'all don't come for me. I know those don't start with the letter X, but I really couldn't think of shit to tell y'all that we want in a relationship that starts with an X. So judge someone else and let's move on. Why? Why? All right. So we want to feel youthful in our relationships, right? We want to feel youthful in our relationship. And by that, I just mean we still want to have fun. We still want to feel beautiful at all times. We still want to, we don't want a boring relationship. It's basically, I guess, what I mean by that. We still want to have fun. We still want excitement. We still want adventure. We still want to be spontaneous. We still want to do all of those fun things. I still want you to walk by and slap me on my booty. I youthful. You know what I mean? We don't have to be this, even after we get married, marriage should be fun. I believe marriage should be fun, and I believe that, we should still laugh together. We should still be playful. We should still be flirting. We should still be, excited to see each other. I want to always get those butterflies when I know that I'm going to see you, or when you text me in the morning, or when you leave and you kiss me on my forehead. I want to still always crush on my man, and I still always want to feel like I just can't wait to see him at the end of the day, or I can't wait to talk to him at the end of the day. And so that's what I mean by being youthful. We want to keep it fresh. Keep the relationship fresh, right? Keep it fresh. It doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be old, because see, then the spark, after you let the spark die, when you get into the same old routine, you don't keep it spontaneous, you don't have the fun, you don't remember why you fell in love to begin with, and you just get comfortable and set in your ways, and everything's predictable, everything is routine. No, keep it fresh, keep it youthful, keep it fun, right? Do that, because that is what is going to keep us going, especially when you have a lifetime ahead of you. You are looking to, you always want to be surprised. You always want to, you like, Continue to do all of those things that you did to get her or to get him. Keep those things up, because that is how you are going to keep them around. That is how you are going to keep it fun. Just remember, life is going to have a lot of bad times and a lot of sorrow and grief and things like that. And we're going to have to go through hardships in life. I'm going to have to learn a lot of hard lessons, but life is actually what you make it to be. And when you decide to get married, I know when I get married, I want my marriage to be fun. I want to do everything with my husband. I want to just experience, it's like now we've come together and we're a team, and let's do this. Let's do life together, and let's make life what we want it to be, not what anyone else is telling us it should be, not what it looks like on someone else's social media, but what it is for us. That's what I mean by keeping it youthful. And for Z, this was actually kind of hard too. But y'all know I'm gonna break it down the best way that I can. And so for Z, I'm gonna say that we want you to be zealous in the relationship, and by that, I mean we want you to stay just devoted, and just stay determined, and just stay excited, and stay keep that zeal, and just stay motivated for the relationship. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, just stay active in everything that we do. Just always keep me on my toes. You know what I mean? Keep me on my toes. Show that you are still, you are always going to be excited about the next chapter of our relationship. Show that you are going to always be excited about it. Show that it is always a priority. Show that you are always just, enthusiastic about the things that we have planned for our future. Like, just stay zealous in your relationships. That is important. And I think that right there, and I think that that's a perfect way to end this list, because I think that alone can actually embody everything that we have talked about from A all the way up to Z. I think that being zealous in your relationship can actually embody everything that we have discussed, because I think that it means that you are just full of everything that you need to be full of in your relationship. And we need to see that. I want to just make sure that you are just as committed and just as excited about this relationship as I am, and that you look at this as a priority, and that this is not something that you want to lose, and that this is something that you want to put a lot of your energy and your time into, and that you take it serious, and that it means a lot, and that you are just like, just show me. I need to see all of that in your actions and your words and by the things that you do. And just continue to do that from here on out. When you decide to take that next step with that person, show that at all times, and never be afraid to show how zealous you are in your relationships. So, y'all, that's it. It's a wrap. I have gone through the entire alphabet about all the things we want in our relationships. And yeah, so I hope that you guys can relate to, if not everything, most of. I hope that you can agree with all of the things that we have discussed. Again, I just wanted to talk about the things that we look for and the things that we need in a healthy relationship, the things that we, that are just very pertinent for us to have. And I thought that it would be just kind of dope for me to do it and go through the alphabet as I was doing that. I don't know. I just wanted to have purpose in my list. So, I just decided to do it that way. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that. And it is a wrap on what women want, y'all. So I did 5 parts to this series because, like I said, I think that there was just a lot of things we needed to say. And just a lot of things I wanted to put out there. And if there were any men listening, you heard it from a woman's thoughts, right? So I hope y'all enjoyed this little series that we had. And so I'm excited to talk about what's to come to follow this series. So if you scroll back if you're following me on Instagram, scroll back a few weeks, I talked about my very first listeners lotto. And by first, I mean this is the first and it will not be the last. But I definitely want to give back to people that have been supporting the show, to people that are listeners of the show, to people who actually go through and listen. And so I am doing a listeners lotto. And so basically what I am going to do this upcoming week, I'm going to post a little bit more promo about it because I think I've only posted about it once, which I definitely should have done it a little bit more. So y'all gotta excuse me for that, but I am going to post about it this week. So what I am going to do is, you have to be following me, number one, but I am going to post a specific question in reference to this series. I don't know what the question is yet. I have an idea of what the question is going to be, but I don't know for sure what it's going to be yet. But I am going to post a specific question that only someone that was listening to this series would be able to answer, right? And I think I'm going to turn the comments off because I know you guys, some people are hard-headed and they don't follow the rules and they will comment the answer right under there, and that's not what I want you to do. I want you to DM me on Thoughts of a Blog Queen podcast. I want you to DM me the correct answer to the question that I am going to post, and the first person who does that with the correct, not just the first person to DM me any old answer, it has to be the first person to DM me with the correct answer, is going to win a cash prize. However you can get Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, your choice. I got it all. It doesn't matter. I'm going to shoot you some cash, and all that I need is we'll do like a picture of you and we'll post that you're the winner. If something like that, we'll promote it some kind of way because I want to make sure that people know that I'm not just playing around. I want to give back to a loyal listener. So again, be on the lookout this week for the official promo for the listeners lotto of Thoughts of a Blog Queen podcast, and make sure that you guys go back and you listen to this series, all 5 parts. They're not long episodes. Listen to it so that you know. You may have to go back. You may listen. You may remember what I said. You may not. You may have to go back and listen to it. But the first person who is able to DM me with the correct answer is going to win that cash. No question asked. No gift. It's cash coming your way for being a loyal listener of the Thoughts of a Black Queen podcast. All right. So hopefully, We'll see how that goes. I just appreciate all my listeners. I appreciate my supporters. I appreciate the people who hit me up and tell me that they enjoy the show. And so, every now and then it doesn't hurt to give back a little bit. Because all the downloads that I'm getting and all of the feedback, I love it. And so I just want to do just a fun little, just my way of giving back to my community, right? Okay, and so speaking of my community, I wanted to talk about something that I am also going to be posting about this week, and where I am building a private group for the listeners and supporters of Thoughts of a Blog Queen podcast, and it is called The Lobby. I am building this private group on Facebook, right? So on Facebook, there is going to be a Thoughts of a Blog Queen group. It's going to be a private group. And it is going to be called, I have named it The Lobby. So y'all have to meet me in the lobby. And so what's going to be going on in the lobby in the private group? All right. So it's going to be a lot of different things. There's going to be exclusive episodes, private episodes that only members of the lobby are going to be able to have access to. The link will only be posted there. It will not be posted in my bio or anything like that. These private episodes will only be posted in the group. There will be, I'm going to be going live on some topics in there. We're gonna talk about a lot more things. I'm still gonna be right here, Thoughts of the Black Queen podcast. Season 2 is approaching. We are counting down to 25 episodes, and then we are going to go into season 2. So I'm still going to be right here. But for the members of the lobby, that's where we're getting a little bit, I got a little extra for you guys over there. And I think that it's a step before I wanted to go into, the whole Patreon thing and all of that. I wanted to start there first, and I wanted to get, some of my loyal listeners to come and meet me over in the lobby. There is merch coming out, and so members of the lobby are going to have discount codes for that. There may be some exclusive little contests going on. There are going to be things that are going to be exclusive to only the members of the lobby, and so I definitely want to encourage you guys to look out for that. I am working on getting some of the content pre-filled in there. I got a lot of good little, a lot of little fun little goodies are going to be in the private group, and I want to do it for those that are actual supporters and that actually enjoyed the show. And so I wanted to build something, and I came up with that. I came up with the lobby, and that's where I want you guys to meet me in the lobby. So you definitely have to be on Facebook or have a Facebook account so that you can get in there, because that is the only place that it is going to be. What else is going to be in there? I don't know. I'm going to, for season 2, you guys have to be on the lookout for YouTube. Going to get YouTube up and popping. But again, it's been so long since I have actually gone live. And so I'm definitely going to be going live in the lobby. So again, you guys have to meet me over there. What else? I think that is all that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the lobby, and I wanted to talk about the listeners lotto contest. And so I think that's it, you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this series. It was fun for me. It was easy for me to get through. And I hope that you guys can relate to it, on some level. Whether you were a man listening to this and got a little bit of insight on what women want and what we need, or whether you are one of my sisters and you are, just yeah, that makes sense. Maybe I shed some light, or I broke something down to you in a way that you really connected with, which is what that's my hope for this entire platform, is to just be able to connect with you guys kind of through a kindred spirit type of way. I can't talk to each and every one of you that are listening to this, but I hope that you are listening and that you find this relatable, and that you get something from it, right? So, y'all, with that being said, I am going to wrap it up. Again, remember, this is part 5 of the 5-part series. If you have not listened, go back and binge. You can binge on this series. There are only 5 parts. None of the episodes are too long. Take a listen, because you want to be able to answer that question, y'all. Who doesn't want a little free little a cash gift? Who doesn't want that? I do. So yeah, so make sure you guys go back and tune in and catch up with me, and make sure you are following me again, Thoughts of the Black Queen _podcast. If you're not following me on Pink Tea Chronicles _podcast, make sure you are doing that as well. I also have my Pink Promos page and my Sharing Pink Promos blog page. I got a lot of stuff out there, and I appreciate each and every one of you who are supporting or following me, engaging with me on any of those platforms that I have. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And that's it, you guys. It's a wrap. That's all I got. So until next time, my lovelies, peace and blessings.
Let's do this. It's showtime.
You're listening to the Thoughts of a Blog Queen podcast
These are just my thoughts.
with your host, LaRae Renee.
A woman, her thoughts, and a mic.
Are you ready? Check this out.